When you try to let go of old habits or things that are no longer serving you, the worst way, in my opinion, is trying to fight against them. Because when you fight against them, you build up this resistance, and this resistance makes it even harder for you to let them go. And this sounds contradictory, but in my experience, every time I try to really fight against something, if I'd really tried too hard to let something go, it worked for a while. It worked for some weeks or months, but the old frequency or the old reality always caught up with me again. But the moment I got to the realization where I simply don't have to hold on to it anymore, when I came to the point where I simply said, this is not serving me anymore, this is not who I am anymore, without any emotional attachment to it, that's when it just fell away naturally. And even if I decided to do it again, for example, certain foods that didn't serve me anymore, I quickly was able to drop it again because I just felt inside of me that it's no longer serving me. And I didn't feel like doing it anymore because this is not who I am anymore. Because there has been a shift in identity. There's been a shift in my frequency. And the same goes for you. If there's something that you try to let go of, remind yourself that there's a process involved. Sometimes it can happen that you are fed up with something and you're never going to do it again because there's so much pain involved. And this pain made you decide that you no longer going to do this anymore. But sometimes, a lot of times, this resistance is then causing blockages in you and it's blocking you in other areas of your life as well. And when you simply let things fall away, when you simply allow them to outgrow, when you simply let them go, when you realize that you don't have to struggle against them, you simply decide, this is no longer who I am, this is not what I want to do anymore, without this resistance, then they naturally fall away. And that's when you no longer are in bondage to them. Because when you have this resistance, it's almost like you're building this wall. And behind this wall, there's this habit, this energy, or the energy of the habit that's building up. And the longer you try to sustain this wall, the harder this energy is building up behind that wall. And all of a sudden, it's so strong and it's crashing through the wall and it's coming right back to you. And it's getting you back to the exact place where you used to be. And all of a sudden, you catch yourself beating yourself up, being mad at yourself because you're at the same exact place that you used to be before. And that can be a never-ending cycle until you realize that you simply don't have to hold on. So whatever it is in your life right now that you feel has control over you, remind yourself that, first of all, you are in charge. You can decide in every moment to make a change. And also, remind yourself that it doesn't have to be a fight. Sometimes it has to be a fight until you realize that you don't have to fight anymore. But ultimately, there's nothing that you have to hold on to. And usually, the more you hold on to it, the more you suffer. And the more you try to resist it, the stronger this resistance grows. And the further it goes away from it, but it snaps back to you. And this energy that you're suppressing is growing in the shadows, and then it's coming out again, and it's coming stronger than it used to be. So simply allow yourself to let things go. If they're no longer serving you, just observe it. And if you're on a journey, acknowledge yourself for being on a journey. And if you fall back to certain habits that you used to have before, just acknowledge yourself for even being on a journey, for even having the courage to change something. And remind yourself that it's a natural process. And the best way to let go of things is to simply let them outgrow by themselves. So whatever habit you have, for example, if you eat McDonald's all the time and you come to the awareness that this food is no longer serving you and it's lowering your vibration and it makes you feel bad, that's the first step, being aware that it's no longer serving you. And when you then say, okay, I let it go because I don't want to do this anymore, then you get on the journey. But it can happen that 30 days later, for a month you didn't eat any McDonald's, and all of a sudden your friends want to go to McDonald's and you don't actually want to go there, but you let yourself being persuaded to go there again. All of a sudden you're in there and you buy a burger again and you eat that burger and then you feel bad because you ate it. You feel all of this shame, you feel all of this guilt, but it's not necessary. I mean, somehow I guess it's something that we as human beings go through, but just remind yourself that you already did 30 days without it. And when you then come to the point, maybe you're there next in the next month, you're in the same position again, the same situation. But then you maybe come to the point where you realize, okay, I don't have to do this. They can buy it, but I don't have to do this. It doesn't make me feel good, and I don't want to feel that way. After eating, I don't like the feeling, so I'm simply decide to not do it, but without the strong resistance, without judging them for eating it, without seeing it as an enemy, simply because you like to feel good and you realize that it doesn't make you feel good. And when you come to that point, then it no longer has power over you. You're no longer slaves to that emotion, because your emotions can either serve you and they can work for you, or they work against you. So you can either be the master of your emotions or let your emotions be the master of you and be a slave to your emotions. And the moment you simply realize that you can release them by simply observing them without judging them, then realizing that you are the observer and that you can make a decision in every moment to let something go without resistance, without fighting, that's when you free yourself from whatever it is. Because even emotions can be habitual. Matter of fact, they are habitual. Thoughts are habitual. So you can apply that for everything. McDonald's was just an example. I haven't been eating McDonald's in years and I don't intend to go back, but I know that even if I decided to eat something at McDonald's, which I really don't intend to, but I know that if I would do that today, I could simply let it go in the next moment and I wouldn't do it again for years because it no longer had bondage over me. As a child, I loved McDonald's, but now where I'm at in my life, I realize it's not serving me anymore, and I don't even want to consume that anymore. So when you come to that realization, where you simply say, I no longer want to do this because it's not serving my highest good, and I like to feel good, that's when you can let things go, and they just fall away without the fight, without all the resistance, without all this drama, you know? And when you get to that point, that's when you really are free. And when you are liberated, when you have liberated yourself from whatever had control over you. And I think that's the best way to let go of habits. That's the best way to let go of energies that are no longer serving you. And that's the way to free yourself and to live a life as the creator that you are. So if you're struggling with things and feel like they have control over you, just practice this awareness that you can decide in every moment how you want to decide, what you want to decide, and then simply let it go. Hope this was helpful, and wishing you all the best on your journey. One love.